If you go to the dump to see what you can bring home, you're hillbilly as hell. Happy New Year, everybody. Brandy.
Zach.
Here with Raising Up Homestead, and we're going to be doing cheers to 2023. Looking back at our last crazy year, and I don't know, discussing some things that we both want to do this coming year.
Yep. 2022 was crazy. So, for those who don't know or just coming to our channel, about a year ago, in late 21, we decided to pack everything up and move to the East Coast from Oregon. We weren't sure where we were moving, but we knew we didn't want to stay in Oregon. We didn't want to raise our kids in Oregon. We wanted to find a state and a place where we could homestead and raise our kids the way we wanted to.
Yeah.
In the lifestyle that we wanted. So we did it.
It was like, I think Thanksgiving, we told our family, we're moving. And at that point, Kentucky wasn't our contender. We had found a property in Virginia at that point, I think.
Yeah, it was right on the Kentucky border, but it was in Virginia.
Yeah, and I don't know if we had for sure on that property yet, but I know, like, that's where we were looking. We had found a property, and we were going forth with the things. And we got a home inspection. It had black mold. We backed out. I mean, I'm not upset that we backed out on that house.
No, if it had been a stick-built house, might have been worth the problems. Yeah. But it was a mobile home on, I think it was on 5 acres, but much like our current property, it wasn't all usable. And being a mobile home with all the water problems that it had, it wasn't worth the money.
Yeah. We So it was Christmas, I think it was the day after Christmas. Yeah, we had tried to, before we bought the house in Virginia, or we were trying to buy a house in Virginia, we were trying to buy this house. Missed out on it. Tried to buy the house in Virginia, it fell through. Christmas Day, I think, Christmas Eve, this house came back on the market.
Yep.
And in our rush, we're like, we want it done, no questions asked.
Which, we did get a home inspection. And for all of those who blame our inspector, it's not his fault.
I mean, there was this much crawl space. Like, literally.
Yeah, you cannot crawl under the part of the house where the problems were. Which is part of why it had problems, because the dirt and the wood was so close together, they were actually touching in some places. So, he couldn't get under to see that. And there's no way he could have known there were 6 layers of flooring holding the kitchen floor together. It's the only reason you could walk through the kitchen. Yeah. It's because there were so many layers.
Yeah. So we went through with it. We actually sold our place. We made a very good profit because we bought an undesirable home, fixed it up, and made lots of money.
Yep.
We were able to buy this house with cash, which it's great to know that we're mortgage free. So if forever any reason anything happens, we know our house is paid for. And we took our kids on an epic 3-week, 2,800-mile road trip.
Yeah.
I wish they were a little older to really, truly, and appreciate it all, but it was great for us because we saw a lot of things we've never seen before.
I wish it would have been not winter, because we could have seen a lot more that we chose not to do because it was just too cold. Like, we wanted to go see Zion, and we couldn't because it was going to be like 4 degrees.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going to be hikeable. We were never going to enjoy ourselves doing it, so we bypassed that. 25 at the Grand Canyon was bad enough.
Yeah. I'm glad we bundled up for that one. That was really fun. If you ever go to the Grand Canyon, we highly recommend that you take the old train to the Grand Canyon and back. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and you won't regret it. Highly recommend it.
Kids had a lot of fun on the train.
Yeah. So we got to Kentucky and literally hit the ground running. I think we bought chicks the next day. And just...
It might have been 3 days.
I don't know. I think it was the next day. I was like, where's Tractor Supply? So we got chicks and just jumped right in. I knew because we got here at the very end of April, so it's the beginning of May. Like, Zach jumped in on the house, I jumped in on the garden, trying to grow us something, because at that point we were pretty late. I mean, most people start getting their stuff in the ground right around Mother's Day, and so I feel like a ticking clock going. So a little backstory on our house was we originally were planning on getting a mortgage. Long story short, with a bunch of phone calls and being lied to by the appraiser for the loan, he had told us he did the inspection. He was just finishing it up. So we started to tear it apart.
Which we shouldn't have done. They tell you not to do any work until the loan goes through. But we figured everything's good, all the paperwork's good, we're just waiting on them to actually do the report. So we went ahead because we knew how much work we were looking at.
He hadn't done the inspection yet. 2 weeks later, when the house is gutted, he shows up. Then he lies to us and says he's gonna include the photos from Zillow in his report as actual photos. He didn't. So the bank was like, meh, meh.
Yeah.
So we decided that I'll get a part-time job. He'll keep tearing the house down, and we'll do it that way, which is fine because we're mortgage free. Like, if we would have gotten the loan, we wouldn't be. Maybe we'd be in a better financial spot. We don't know. We're very motorcycle poor right now, but we don't want to give up our motorcycles.
Nope. Because that was the main purpose of the mortgage, was to pay off our other debts. We don't have a whole lot, but we have some. And it was going to pay all that off so that our only debt was the mortgage.
Yeah.
A lot lower interest rate than motorcycle loans, even though we got a decent rate, but still lower for a mortgage. And drawn out over 30 years instead of 8.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
We're paying the motorcycle loans instead of a mortgage. It all basically is the same in the end.
Yeah. 7 years
we're making
versus
it
30.
work.
Yeah. We're making it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The house is coming along. It's slow but sure.
Yeah.
We have half a kitchen.
We've gotten to the expensive part.
Yeah.
Where we have to buy something other than lumber and sheetrock.
Yeah.
So, it's functional. We have a stove, a sink, a refrigerator,
Dishwasher.
yeah, some cabinetry.
Yeah.
So it's not pretty, but it's functional. So that's what matters.
Yep.
We're all enclosed in. So that huge storm we had where it was negative 20, our house got up to 55.
Yeah,
so.
it struggled on the really coldest day. I think it was struggling, and it was in the low 50s in the house.
Yeah.
But low 50s in the house is still very survivable.
Yeah.
We can bundle up and deal with that for a couple days.
It was a once in a decade storm, like everybody here is like, it's never been that cold here. And I think the electric bill company is charging us as such because our electric bill was ungodly. So.
Which I know we're not alone in that.
Yeah.
Everyone nationwide is dealing with high electric bills.
Yeah.
Cost of electricity has skyrocketed in the last year.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah.
What? Eggs, butter.
Yeah.
Like I choke every time I buy butter. I'm thankful we have eggs here. So, but.
We got lucky today. I bought butter at $3.75 a pound,
Ooh.
which is cheap. We've been paying like $4.50.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Eggs are like $6.50 for an 18-pack now.
Yeah.
So glad we have chickens and quail.
It was a good learning year, though, for us. I mean, we didn't know what we're doing. I mean, we've raised chickens before. We've had a very small garden before. But that was it, And so, I feel like we dove in. We got the pig. I mean, we couldn't pass up the deal on bacon. So that's why we're like, well, let's figure this out. And I kind of had seen things about quail and convinced him to do quail. So it was really a big learning experience of turkeys and chickens and
guineas, which we will never do again.
By the way, we had another guinea got hit in the road today, so we had her for dinner.
Yeah.
They're so good. If they weren't so damn annoying, I would raise them for me because they are so good.
Much better than chicken.
I that breast on a guinea, I don't know why they're so flavorful, but
Yeah.
If you haven't tried your guineas yet, I'd try it.
Yeah.
You should eat one.
We are going to butcher our last remaining 2 because they are so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we go outside, they are begging to be murdered.
Which I'm sure most of you have heard in every single video.
Because every time we walk outside, they alert like we're a threat.
And then we bitch about them.
Yeah. Throw stuff at them. But if you have ticks and you need to get your ticks under control, guineas are great.
Yeah.
But now that our ticks are under control,
Yeah.
we can get rid of them and have some quiet on the homestead.
Yeah. The turkeys will do just fine.
Yeah.
The chickens. Yeah. I thought I was gonna be growing a ton of stuff. Like the raised beds were gonna grow so much food, and it didn't really pan out that way. I think our pickles are gonna last us the year.
Yes, because we ended up with well over 50 pints of pickles.
Yeah.
Which is great because we eat a lot of pickles.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we need to up everything else.
Yeah.
Which we got a lot of produce. Considering it was our first year trying to grow a real garden and produce our own food, we did pretty good.
Well, and it doesn't help that the children are like, ooh, tomatoes. And they'd be done, so I wasn't able to preserve any tomatoes.
And I swear, they eat more than I do. Finley eats so much food at 6 years old. It's insane.
Yeah.
We are not going to be able to afford to feed this child when he becomes a teenager. He's going to have to get a job just to feed himself.
Yeah. He's going to have to learn to go hunting and
Yeah.
have his own garden.
5 minutes after devouring a huge lunch, he's asking for snacks. But this year, we're planting a garden that's 6-7 times bigger than what we did last year.
I plan on going big and trying my best to keep the chickens out of it. So I think I'm going to do a pallet fence around the garden because I can get pallets at work for really cheap. And then I was thinking like, okay, if I do a pallet fence around the whole exterior, if I use the side that maybe only has like 2 or 3 boards, then I can put fabric, like landscape netting in that and plant more things on the fence itself. And so I can utilize as much as I can. I have an idea for a lettuce tower or strawberry tower on the cheap because we broke. We know you're broke. Let's do this cheap. So that is going to be coming up soon on the videos. I have to, do it. But I need to get some buckets and a hole saw. But I've got ideas on that. But yeah, so I had the fenced in area, and then I'm also wanting to do like a squash pumpkin patch just solely to grow food for the pigs.
Yeah.
So they can have nourishment and good food to help them taste good. And then some more. I want to try and really do corn this year. I really failed at corn, but I want to try it again.
Yeah, we didn't try real hard last year,
No.
and the chickens did not help.
No, yeah,
As soon as the corn got a foot tall, they were all over it, destroying it.
Yeah, so they need to get out.
I think we got one ear that was unedible.
Yeah. I have like 3 blueberry bushes that I'd love to plant. I kind of did a little research today on propagating blueberries. You can't really do that until the spring, until they start to have new growth. But I'd love to do that so I can get some more blueberry plants. It's weird saying this coming from Oregon where blackberries are a nuisance. But I would like to get some blackberries. Raspberries, I want to make
the blackberry
a berry
bushes
garden.
here are not the blackberry bushes from Oregon.
No.
They are not invasive. They are not overpowering. They're a completely different plant. They just produce a very similar berry.
Yeah.
I would not ever plant West Coast blackberries here because we have enough invasive plants here that we don't need another one.
They're delicious, but
yeah.
So I mean, since I'm working, my focus is just gonna be garden. I'm probably gonna have to train him on what to do and train Finley to help him. Hopefully within a month or so, I will have my real estate license, and then I can be a real estate agent and then have a little more free time towards the homestead and where I'm not working, 25 to 40 hours at Lowe's. Well, I've been very appreciative of Lowe's hours and the pay raise I got and all that. I'm spending too much time away. I at times I feel like I'm not really a part of everything, even though I know I am. I'm in almost all the videos. But it's not the same as it was like during the summer. And it could be because it's just that time of year. It's cold and I'm not forcing myself to go outside.
Yeah, we do a lot less work and a lot less outside right now because like today our high was 44.
Yeah.
Wasn't terrible.
No, but it was still
But it was cold.
So yeah, I'm excited because if I just sell 1 or 2 houses, like one house a month, one house every other month, I can make just as much money as I'm making at Lowe's. Yeah. I'm not in it to get rich. I'm just in it to provide for us and be able to spend more time with Zach and the kids.
And to help people who are like us, who are moving into Kentucky, especially if they're coming from another state or West Coast, where the biggest problem we had was finding a realtor who's willing to help us look at properties.
Yeah.
We lucked out with the realtor we had for this house, but we went through so many that we ended up firing because they just wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, or they wouldn't drive farther than 45 minutes. So I really want to be there. So if you are in our shoes, you're in another state, or hell, even if you live in Kentucky and you want to live this lifestyle, you want to get started on it, please send us a message, an email, whatever. I would love to help you when I become a licensed real estate agent, because it's going to be nice to have somebody who lives the lifestyle to help you figure out what property works best for you or what's out there. I think part of that was, Andrew's our friend and he was really great. He doesn't know this lifestyle, so he could have said some things like, oh, well, the property's kind of steep, you can't do a whole lot with it, blah, 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 because he just doesn't know. And that's where I think it's going to be great service for me to my future clients who want to live this lifestyle.
Yeah. I do want to try and take advantage of our hill a bit and plant a bunch of fruit trees up there. Because while we can't garden, because it's very forested right now, but the way the hill sits, so you have where we live, and then it kind of slips, and it goes really steep, and then it flattens back out, and then goes really steep again. On that flat spot, I want to cut down all the trees that are up there and plant just a ton of fruit trees. I've got a bunch of seeds going. I think I've got probably 25 apple seeds going right now that hopefully will turn into trees. And then you've got peach and chestnut and pomegranate. Yeah. Hopefully we can get lots of fruit trees up there and planted. It's not our forever home, so not all our trees will end up in the ground up there. We want a lot of fruit trees that we can start propagating now to take with us to our forever home. Yeah. But I want to produce as much food as possible, and fruit trees are a great way to effortlessly over time produce food.
Yeah.
And then also becomes a great selling point because the next person who buys this property is going to love that there's a orchard up there of fruit trees.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, any big projects that you want to do next year?
Goats. I want to expand our pigs. I want to be able to do more than 2 at a time. Right now we're pretty limited. I am amazed at how fast these 2 little ones we just got are going through the area we gave them. They are far more industrious than Bacon was. And then I want to get into goats. We have some friends who moved here from Washington that also want to do goats, and they've got a little better property setup than we do, so we think we're going to go in on goats with them. They'll house them because they've already got the setup, and we'll pay for the feed and kind of share the duties.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've ever eaten goat, but it is delicious.
Yeah.
Fresh goat is probably my favorite all-time meat. Although guinea comes really close.
I am honestly shocked at how delicious those birds are.
They have so much flavor. I've never tasted a bird that has that kind of flavor.
But. Yeah. I
and then
think.
expanding the products we make.
Yes.
So for Slick's beard oil, I've got soap in the works, soap and shampoo bars.
Which I don't know if you guys can see my hair. So this is no product. I've been using the shampoo bar for 5 washes now. It's starting to feel normal. So the first couple washes, I was like, it still kind of feels oily, but it's soft, you know, and now I think it's getting back to normal, and I'm not using conditioner. But my hair is so soft, it doesn't feel dry. Is shampoo bars, are they lard?
They're, well, a little bit of lard. They're mostly avocado oil, coconut oil, a little bit of lard.
Yeah. And
Very similar actually to the beard oil mix, just with the addition of lard and coconut oil.
yeah, and it's a lye based. So.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like after I washed it, I was like, okay, it's starting to feel like it's regulating, and it feels really good. It doesn't get like super lathery, so it's kind of hard to tell how much to use. But my hair is definitely a lot softer and not like static clingy after I wash it.
The formula of the shampoo bar is more designed for facial hair, so it's softer on your skin. It conditions really well. It does. I've been using it on my hair. Does not help with my dandruff. So I still have to use my dandruff shampoo, which kind of negates using the shampoo bar. But I've been using the shampoo bar on my face for the last few weeks, and I really like the results.
Yeah.
So I got a batch of those going, and I want to make some videos showing you guys how I make them. So if there's any other things you want to see me make, I'll show you how I make my beard oil, how I make the balm. I'll even let you in on the recipe if you want to make it at home. I'm okay with it. But I want to expand more of that. I've got a few more products in the works, and soap is hard because I have to make it and then let it sit. Because it's lye based, it's not really soap for 6 to 8 weeks after I make it. If I used it earlier than that, it would burn me because the lye has not converted yet. But it is amazing how well it works once you're done.
Yeah. I have right now on our Etsy shop is my Appalachia Healing Salve. And I need to make some more because I have little tins and I only have one big tin left. But I have been using it in the winter time right now because like after I take a hot shower, my face just gets real dry. And so I like to put it on my face to moisturize my face at night or just when it feels dry. Normally I get like dry flaky eyelids, whatever this bit is here, and around my nose get really dry and flaky to where they bleed, and I haven't had that at all yet this winter, and I've been using it regularly. But it's really great for stings and cuts and bites. I mean, Finley got stung by wasp like 5 times, and I put it on. I mean, that boy was crying tonight over a tiny little speck on his hand, like you could barely see it, and it wasn't bleeding. He was just crying. Now partly it was bedtime, but he's very sensitive. So the fact that he had gotten stung that much by wasp, I was really shocked at how quickly he calmed down and moved on after I put my salve on him. So I'm going to make another round of that come springtime, but I want to do like an actual face oil or a cleansing face oil because I don't use soap on my face. I feel like it strips your face of oils and dries you out and ages you. So oil I feel is good, and jojoba oil is closest to your own skin oil, so I'm gonna focus on that. I kind of want to play around. I haven't tried this out, but a lip balm, like a tinted lip balm, a natural. So we found a recipe that's just tallow and honey, and I would like to add some like vitamin E and beeswax, and then dry some beetroot, grind it up for the coloring to make it red, because your girl likes some red lips. So I thought if I could make a healthy moisturizing lip balm that's tinted and have it be 3-4 ingredients, I think that would be pretty awesome. But
yeah,
I gotta wait till I'm not so busy.
We want to make a lot of products that utilize the plants that grow here.
Yes.
So I want to make some special edition beard oils that have plants, not tincture. What's the oil? Infusions. Infused oils. So be able to infuse some of the health benefits of the plants that grow here, because there are so many beneficial plants that grow here.
Yeah.
And we want to pass those health benefits on to you guys, because it's amazing.
Yeah.
Get chemicals out of our lives as much as possible.
Yeah.
Be natural.
Yeah, I mean, these plants are all around us. Our property was basically vacant for 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have like nice green grass. It's all of these natural like clover and plantain and chicory and so many medicinal plants just in our yard. But I'd like to start hiking more and foraging more around here, because there's so many like mushrooms that grow wild and plants out there. I just want to I'd love to learn about the specific plants in this region that could be used for medicine. But
yeah,
I'm excited for warmer weather.
Yes. I'm over winter because I want to be outside. I want to be working with the pigs. I want to be doing stuff, building outside, expanding. A great quote I heard on another homestead site was, if your place doesn't look like a construction site, you're not growing. I want to keep working outside. It's just too cold.
Yeah.
I'll get out for a little while. Like, we'll work 2-3 hours outside, and then it just becomes too much.
Yeah.
Or the sun goes down and it drops 40 degrees.
Yeah.
That's an exaggeration, but
it really hasn't been that bad yet. Okay, we had the polar vortex and it was negative 24. That was like 3 days, 4 days.
Yeah, and then it was 65.
And then literally New Year's was in the 60s.
Yeah.
And it's so bipolar. I mean, like, yesterday was pretty warm and sunny. Today it was a lot colder. When the wind picks up, it gets a lot colder.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't complain. Hasn't rained. When it does rain, it rains real good, like for a day or two, and then it's sunshiny. So I don't miss 6 months of solid rain that we had in Oregon. At least here it's cold. You can bundle up and you can still go outside and do things. So just needs to be a bit warmer.
Yeah, but I'm excited for spring because that's when we put the plants in for the garden. That's when all of the things start growing again, and we start building again. It's very secular. We're gonna go through the winter every year, but we haven't. This will be our first full year homesteading. Because last year we didn't get started until May.
Yeah.
So this year we have more time to prepare. So I'm very excited for spring. Very excited for this coming year.
I also think we have to look at winter like as a break, because as soon as it's spring, you're going until frost. So try not to overdo myself trying to take in winter, relax, use it for other projects as a time of rest and recovery, maybe. I don't know, or as for planning. So it's not all go, go, go. I mean, I put on a few pounds since winter has arrived, so that's why I'm looking forward to spring to get them back off. But I'm enjoying the winter 15. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So we're excited. If you guys want to see anything specific from us or a part of our lives that you're curious about, leave us a comment. Ask us about it. We always need ideas for content. I have a garden video coming up because it's time. It's time to start on the gardens, as crazy as that is.
Yep. We need to start getting seeds going in the house so that when spring comes around, they're ready to go in the ground.
Yep. I have some windows, and I might do a little temporary greenhouse for this year. I don't know, at least utilize our laundry room in our house for seed starting, and we'll take you along on that journey and what we're doing each step of the way.
Yeah.
I have some fun ideas I think I want to do for the chickens. If they don't get a complete run this year, they're at least going to have some things to roost on. I don't know. I'm still tempted to no longer make them free range because they keep getting their ass hit in the street. We've lost
So
handful.
We've been here since May. So 7 months. We lost our dog, 6 birds, and a pig.
Yeah.
To that road.
Yeah.
So we've got to do something to keep our animals away from that road.
Yeah.
Because it's too busy and it's too close.
Yeah.
And the stupid chickens like to go over to the neighbor's green grass and look for bugs over there. And then they get hit.
Yeah. Because they don't understand cars.
Yeah. I'm shocked our cat hasn't gotten hit because I had to grab her one day. She was sleeping on the yellow line in the middle of the road. All curled up, comfy as could be, in the middle of the asphalt. I'm like, I don't understand. It's not a good spot for a bed.
No.
But
yeah, so I'm sure I will have some crazy ideas come this spring and winter, or spring and summer, and we'll be doing some things. And who knows, you might see some baby goats in our future.
Yep. And baby chickens, because here soon, probably towards the end of the month, I'm going to start incubator full. So 41 eggs, chicken eggs. Raise them up as meat chickens.
Yeah. So we're just going to take our own eggs and raise them.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are going to if they haven't already ordered chickens, if you want to order chickens and you're watching this, you might call a hatchery right now or place an order online, because now's the time. Because they start to get delivered in the coming time frame. So we're just gonna take some of ours. I've already I noticed 2 of my chickens lay white eggs. I'm taking those because I'm curious who it is and what they're gonna look like. So I got a whole bunch of those I want to put in the incubator. But yeah, we're just gonna fill up the incubators and make our own meat chickens for next year to have something to eat other than pig.
Yeah, we've got about 20 quail that'll be ready to butcher in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we get the meat chickens hatched, I'll probably do a few more rounds of quail, get the freezer filled back up with bird.
Yeah, because chickens take a lot longer to get to the point of being out in the coop than the quail do. So
quail 3 weeks after birth can be out in the coop.
Yeah.
3 weeks after that, they're in their freezer.
Yeah, and by that point it'll probably be the end of February, beginning of March. So I don't know how cold it will be, but hopefully it's not too bad.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We haven't been through a winter yet in Kentucky, so we'll see how it is.
Yeah. Everybody that I've talked to is like, January, February are cold. That's all they told me. Is it just gets cold in January, February. Even into December, it can be 70 degrees on Christmas. But January and February are cold. So sometimes it snows, sometimes it doesn't. It's just every year is a different story. So
yeah.
But I mean, once it got like over 20 degrees during that vortex, our house felt pretty good. So it's that really, really cold, which I think everybody's house has a hard time with.
Yeah. And we've got a few more heaters on plan.
Yeah.
We'll be putting those in the next month or so.
Yeah.
So if we do get another polar vortex or sub-freezing temperatures, we'll be just fine.
Yeah.
A couple more heat, because right now we only have 2 heaters, one in the living room, one in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And it's not quite enough for the whole house.
I think because we realized that like the bathroom hallway to our laundry room is not insulated on the underside.
Yeah, that too.
I don't really even know about the walls, truthfully. But the flooring needs to be insulated. So that's going to be another probably honey-do list for Zach.
At least that part of the house I can go underneath.
Yeah.
The bedroom, which is also that part of the house, we have to tear the floor up because it's rotten too.
So that's going to be
That'll get re-insulated once we get to that point.
Yeah.
And then the laundry room and bathroom I can insulate from underneath.
Like my goal for this year for the house purpose is to get the kitchen finished. Get the walls, get all the wood planed. That's another big project for me, is planing all that wood so we can install it for flooring, and I can mud and tape the house and get the inside done. Once that is done, or if I'm doing that, then I'll kick Zach into that bedroom and he can start working on that. But it's going to be another gut job in there, and so we're not going to do that till it's warm. And then I'd love to get at least the stairs to the upstairs.
Yeah, because the upstairs is going to be another gut job. Cause the sheetrock wasn't well attached when we moved here. And now that I have moved the whole house around, The sheetrock's falling off the ceilings upstairs.
Because this side of our house, it was sloping for probably decades.
Yeah.
And so when people did things to it, they didn't fix that. They just built on top of it. So when they put in the second story, it was already sloped down. So they've built to that. So now that the bottom is level, the top is all jacked up. So
it now feels like you're walking through a fun house when you walk upstairs. So I got to rip all that out. I got to build in a new false floor to level everything, and that's going to be a lot of work up there.
Yeah.
I want to put a dormer in too to make it a legal bedroom.
Yeah. So depending on where we're at, downstairs, once it's all done, we'll go up there. And then even that, maybe we won't touch, and it will be up to the. We'll just gut it, and someone else can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Depends on how long we're in this house for.
Yeah.
I really don't want to spend 2 more years here, but if we do, it's not the worst.
Yeah, it's better in some places we've lived.
Yes. We've lived in an office building, a very small 8x20 office thing. We've lived in the loft of our shop. We've lived in many places. So, we are, I don't know, what's the term I'm thinking of? Fighters, survivors. We're hillbilly as hell. I've been watching some TikToks, and basically it's like, if you do this, you're hillbilly as hell. And I want to make one. And it's next time we go to the dump and I start looking for stuff I want at the dump, I'm gonna be like, if you go to the dump to see what you can bring home, you're hillbilly as hell.
I was telling one of our friends who moved here from Colorado, I was telling her that we searched the metal pile for things to take back with us from the dump, and she looked at me like I was insane. She is not as fond of other people's junk as we are.
I'm all about reduce, reuse, recycle. I want to do like a big circle, like trellis, like for my loofah or whatever I'm gonna grow this year. It just looks really pretty. Like if you bury it so far in the ground, so then the circle comes this way. So I'm like, okay, if you're at the dump and you see like a trampoline frame or something round like that, grab it, because I want to. And then there's stuff up in that pile of crap up at the top of the hill that I'm going to take down and use in the garden as well. So,
all right, guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate your support. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave us something in the comments. Even if it's just to say hi. Comment something.
Yeah. Comment if you're starting a garden this year. What is one plant you're looking forward to planting this year? For me, it's loofah. So I want to know, what are you excited about this coming spring? Thank you for watching, and share us with your friends. We are getting over 200 subscribers.
Yep.
Now, if we can get to 1,000, that comes with a chance to be monetized, and so that would help us out. So
yeah, which we would love to do, but that is not our goal in this channel. Our goal with this channel is to share our lives with you guys.
Yeah.
So if there's something you want to see, let us know.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.